pleased to be in your company because I'm here to discuss key data and policy relevant insights regarding chronic absenteeism within the Utica City School District, which is a high need urban district serving approximately 10,000 students. The intent here is to illustrate how attendance challenges are deeply connected to structural barriers, not merely student motivation, and to identify state level actions that can support meaningful and substantive improvement in student attendance outcomes, while also highlighting the district's efforts to combat chronic absenteeism. So the approach that we've taken in Utica School District is an intellectual approach to this. We're studying this as a problem within our district, and I think it's important to provide context. We are a multi-ethnic urban district with a variety of learners that have a range of needs. While we recognize that the heterogeneity within our student population is a core strength that we welcome, the district is home to students who collectively speak more than 52 languages and represent a broad array of classifications. And when we talk about those classifications, we're talking about students with disabilities, English language learners, students that are economically disadvantaged, migrant students, McKinney-Vento, and each one of those students can be a member of each one of those subgroups, which intensifies the students' needs and intensifies the system's response to supporting those students. When we examine the chronic absenteeism within our district, we note that our key findings are chronic absenteeism is a complex, multifaceted issue rooted in historical disadvantage, marginalization, inequitable access to resources, and systemic inequities. In short, the school system and the school population is not disconnected from larger macro, socio-political, historical, and economic factors that have created the circumstances to which students are engaging in current day. So we recognize that work and we utilize that to help explain the phenomena to which is occurring within the district. We also note that our data shows that there are disparities in chronic absenteeism, and they widen among subgroups as they progress from elementary to high school. Moreover, chronic absenteeism intensifies for all student groups during the transition into high school, underscoring the need for targeted, developmentally responsive interventions at this critical juncture. Now, you all should have tables that you can reference as we speak. I won't speak to those, but we note the sizable jump in chronic absenteeism as students traverse from 1 through 8 into our high school. We based on the data that we have, and we see a significant escalation in chronic absenteeism across grade levels, which rates increasing by 16.7 percentage points from grades 1 through 8, which starts at 34.7%, to grades 9 through 12, which we see at 51.4% chronically absent. So while we find that the high school years show a dramatic increase, signaling a long-term and elevated risk within our system, we also note that along those same lines, we note that Black and Hispanic, multiracial, homeless, and students with disabilities and ELL students experience disproportionate rates of chronic absenteeism. So after establishing context, I now move our thinking to the district's response to sort of mitigate and ameliorate those factors that we're seeing within our system. So we have expanded our attendance staffing. We've added 5 additional attendance teachers, increasing the total to 11, utilizing our OHM BOCES framework. And every school now has an assigned attendance teacher. We've developed a district-wide attendance handbook which ensures consistency and coherence and uniform approach to attendance interventions across schools. We're aligning the activity within the organization. We also have an ongoing professional collaboration with our attendance teachers who meet with our BOCES and administrators to study and analyze the data, align practices, and problem solve this very nuanced phenomenon that we're seeing within our school system. We have revised attendance communications. We've updated our school tool attendance letters to align with the New York State Education Department guidance and our Board of Education policy regarding attendance that are issued at cut points and translated into 14 languages. So we're utilizing our technology and our structures there. We've also, have an annual attendance policy outreach where we distribute a comprehensive student attendance policy summary accompanied with the letter that speaks to the factors that we've previously discussed. And we've also invested into our extended day programming. So we have the Raiders Extended Day program, which I'm happy to note that it's now the newly awarded and recognized Raiders Extended Day program by the New York State School Board Association's Champion of Change Award. It was implemented last year, and we'll receive an award this year. But what that program does is it provides high quality academic support and enrichment activities to our neediest families while also focusing on social emotional learning. Now, we did this and to create sustainability by appropriating fund balance to turn into an expense-driven aid by utilizing the BOCES COSA so that it'll be sustainable long-term. But what our intent is to extend the school day to keep our students in a safe and highly academic setting so that by the time they traverse through the system, there are less gaps in instruction that impede student learning as they meet the secondary teachers. So that's a very early in investment because we're trying to be proactive and attack that head on. And then at the building level, our administrators do a phenomenal job at holding weekly attendance meetings, monthly attendance meetings, targeted meetings with our at-risk students, individualized supports, a tiered parent outreach, automated and manual attendance letters, CPS calls when warranted. We've also structurally invested in our CTE pathways to provide our students with a myriad of graduation pathways in line with the portrait of a graduate so that our students who may not have the traditional model of school working can utilize another model within the school context to be successful in school.
And Superintendent Spence,
yeah,
you have exceeded your time.
Okay, all right.
However,
go ahead.
Please wrap it up.
Okay, so I say all of that to say I could be here forever. Look, we're really excited about the work. We've also structurally embedded a family and community engagement department to connect with our families. I say all of that to say what that means is that we are studying the problem, we are working within the confines of our voter-approved budget, and we're leveraging our aid as possible, working with our community partners, over $10 million in our system of care to support this problem, and we are seeing marginal and incremental gains.
Thank you, sir.